Hello
Diving
there,
in
Gia.
early.
We're
Hello,
diving in.
Keisha. We're
We
diving
do,
in. We're diving ducks.
yeah.
Yeah.
And do you remember, Gia? The arrangement is supposed to be that I say hi, Gia, and then you speak.
I like to just dive in and like get a
You're,
jump on it.
yeah, but you're the one who came up with that arrangement, and it seemed like one of the best ideas you ever had.
That just tells you how good my ideas are. That was my very best. That's where I peak.
That's right.
I haven't had a good idea since.
Well, you
Oh,
had
sorry.
one.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
had one, and they could never take that away from you, except that you seem to have taken it away from
I
yourself.
yeah, I'm
Uh,
sorry. I never know when you've hit the butt. Well, you say, but I'm still just nattering on. It's stream of consciousness over here.
yeah, that's okay. That's all right. I'm just teasing you, just having fun with you, Gia.
All right.
Um,
Well, and we're coming early unless you're going to save this for
no, I'm
tomorrow.
gonna run this one tonight. Do you want to explain why we're recording on a Wednesday instead of a
Yeah,
Thursday?
I'm busy tomorrow night, so we decided to go early. So, uh,
Yep, yep. Early seemed I thought early seemed maybe better rather than late.
sure. I
Although
don't
I
care.
guess if you're around Friday, we could do Friday too. I mean, what the hell?
That's a little overkill, wouldn't it? We need to have something to talk about on Monday.
Monday, that's true. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So maybe you
Actually,
this
are we gonna have a we have Easter this weekend. Do they take hospital off on that Monday? Is that like a holiday that
I don't think so, Gia. I don't think
okay.
so.
We'll be having pizza or something at the
Yeah.
Quartermain?
Yep, yep. Uh and before we get into it, I don't know if are you watching Will Trent these days?
No, I just saw an ad and I thought I need to get I'm way behind. I like watched the
Yeah.
first season and I liked it, but I just let it
Yeah.
slip away.
It's
Um,
still very good. It's been a little bit more whimsical this season. Still, they have serious stuff going on, but then also a heavy dose of whimsy. And last night's episode was pretty much, I'm going to say, a love letter to General Hospital.
seriously, like
Yeah,
do they
yeah.
have crossover actors or something that worked on
Well,
Hospital or
well, it was revealed that Will, as a boy, when he was living at this house with another boy and the boy's grandmother, they were all into General Hospital. So they would show them like sitting on the couch watching General Hospital, and they mentioned
Aw,
Lila and the Quartermains and everything, and
wow.
it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
Aw,
Yeah,
that's cool. Okay, I'll have to
yeah,
get back into it
yeah, yeah. I think
and when they
so.
were showing them watching the like flashbacks, were they
Hmm.
showing actual old
Yeah, I
episodes
think
on the
so. Yeah,
yeah,
I think they
okay.
did. Yeah. So yeah, that was I'm sure there's other listeners out there who watch both Will Trent and General Hospital who really enjoyed that.
Alright. Yeah, I need to. We just finished, that Justified series, which we
Uh-huh.
like,
Yeah.
and then I found, like, they have a follow-up, Justified: The Final Countdown or something, I don't know, and,
Mhm.
so I might be busy with that. I seem to only be able to handle one series
One
at a time
show.
at
Yeah.
night. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Well, that's all right. Pace yourself, and then if
but
you
I'll
find
get
that
on
you
it.
have a block of time, you can dial it up on Hulu and
And then sometimes we go down rabbit holes and we're watching, like, the midnight special from 1974 or something, like,
Yeah, yeah.
that kinda crap is
Uh-huh.
on for a
Yeah.
while.
Mhm.
I don't know
Okay.
how I don't know how
Okay.
that happens. Some alcohol might be involved. Not sure.
It sounds like that's probably a factor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, here we are.
Anyway, okay, General Hospital. Yeah, what happened? What do we need to talk about?
Well, we had Tuesday and Wednesday, and I'm going to say there were a lot of unpleasant characters that had a lot of
We had a
screen
lot of
time.
Sidwell
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. And fucking
Um,
Ezra Boyle. I can't stand that guy. And
I was just thinking, yeah, about how sorry I am that we have all this politics
I
stuff.
I I really, really, truly don't understand why they think anybody wants more of that sort of thing right now, you know?
Yeah, I feel like we're all living in this kind of heightened political awareness time, and yeah,
Yeah.
we don't need it. We don't need it here. I mean,
No. no.
and it's pretty yucky. And
It's
just like
very
having a
yucky.
show revolve around an esplanade, for God's sake, seems
I know, get a grip. I mean, I'm sure the show has always revolved around something stupid, but not an esplanade.
an esplanade. Yeah, seems like we're hanging our hats on this esplanade.
Yeah, and
Yeah, go
and
ahead.
also it seems like they're trying to make Laura out to be the bad guy, and I can't have that on top of everything else, you know? I
Well,
can't have.
kind of. I mean, there's certainly. I think Drew's really showing his colors. So,
Yeah,
um,
totally. Yeah.
and man, like not only are his hands crazy, but he's doing this thing with his eyes now,
Yeah.
like the whites of his eyes, where he's like, oh, and it's like,
Yeah,
oh my
yeah.
God,
I
he's
know.
he's
Yeah.
really leaning into this role.
Yeah, I bet he practices a lot of these gestures and expressions when he's at home, you
Do you
know?
think so?
I think
Shirtless?
so. Yeah. Sure. With a bunch of little kids surrounding him, by a pool.
With a whistle. I know. I wish somebody had embraced our vision of what they should have done with
Oh, it
Drew.
would have
But
been such a different show, but I think everybody would have enjoyed it, and it would have been lighter.
yeah, yeah, and they could have even done sort of like an homage to Shampoo, because that's kind of how I wanted
Yeah.
to see him in the town.
Uh-huh. Yep, yep. Working his
Sleep
way through all
sleeping
the
with all the
ladies.
ladies.
Yeah. Maybe, yeah, it could be like private swimming lessons instead of doing their hair.
Right, like working on the breaststroke with
Yeah. Wink, wink.
yeah, whoever. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh well,
Yeah.
but we've got
Yeah.
politics. But yeah, that was pretty chilling, that little line to Ezra Boyle about, and what did he say? And
He
you'll if
said, and
you do
then
exactly what I say, and then you'll still
yeah.
do exactly what I say.
Yeah, yeah,
And I was
it's
like,
like, "Who the
ooh.
hell do you think you are?" And I don't know if Ezra Boyle is necessarily someone who wants to do somebody else's bidding. I mean, unless there's just as much in it for him, you know?
Yeah, but he's also such a
Ugh,
oily
ugh,
politician that he'll probably
yeah.
say that he's going to do that, and then I
Right,
don't know.
right,
Like
yeah.
I'm hoping he's not joining the team
Oh,
permanently.
I know, it's not looking good. I mean, they're giving him a lot of lines, you know?
Yeah. He's got
Um
like politician hair too, you
Yeah,
know.
he's just all bad, you know, and there's too many guys right now who are all bad, like Sidwell, all bad, you know.
I know. I cannot
Drew,
stand his
all bad.
rumbly voice.
Oh, and it's
Just
like, and
yeah.
even when he knows he's not fooling somebody like Tracy, he still has to like go through the motions of being this suave, charming
Yeah.
guy. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
just shut up, you
yeah,
asshole.
the charm factor, or
You
what he
know.
thinks is the charm factor. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that Tracy would prefer to stick with the devil she knows, right? In Sunny.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It is interesting how Sonny's sort of on the chopping block now in lots of
Yeah,
ways.
yeah.
Which has been
Hmm.
a long time coming here in Port Charles,
It
like,
has. That's true. It's
and
true.
I think we're probably going to be feeling sympathy for him because he's going to have this big, um, either he's going to have an operation or he's going to have something occur, some heart event occur before it, or, and
Mm-hmm.
so
Yeah,
he's going to be down. They're going to be kicking him while he's down. And we're going to
yeah.
have to remember that he actually murdered somebody just out of the blue. Just
Who did
kind
he
of,
murder? I don't remember that.
I don't even remember. I know.
Are you sure? Because we don't miss them apparently. So does it count?
No, no.
No,
And
no.
there's really been no follow-up. Even in all this discussion of him, like nobody's even hinting at maybe he had something to do with that murder, you know.
Right.
Like it seems like they could throw that in when they're talking about
Yeah, yeah,
his influence in the town.
yeah.
That would
Mhm.
be a smart move to toss that in there just to like, and I don't know if he had anything to do with it, but it seems a little
Mhm.
weird. But
Mhm. Yep, yep.
Speaking of new characters, I forgot we also met our professor,
Oh yeah, hubba
Professor
hubba.
Hottie.
Indeed.
You're not alone in that. I saw something online about, I think it was General Hospital Snark saying something
Mm.
about they were going to complain about, too many new characters, but then he was really
Yeah.
hot. So
Yeah, they must
they're
have known
okay
who
with
he
it.
was. Yeah, yeah. He's very pretty, very
I can't
pretty.
think of what's his name on the show? Professor
Dalton, is it Dalton? Something like
Dalton?
that?
All
I
right.
don't know. But do you think that he's got the hots for Emma? Or do you think he just
I didn't see. I thought he seemed pretty professional.
okay, okay. All
Did you
right.
did you get some like creep factor out of that?
Not creepy. I guess it should have been, but I was just thinking, well, that would be interesting if they entered into some sort of a relationship.
A
Um,
tryst.
a
A
tryst, yeah. And
tryst.
then I'm wondering, like, now that Joss has to sort of get into the running for that position, is she gonna do something to try to damage Emma's reputation? Would she stoop to that
She might
level?
have to. She might have to. And I hate that they're setting them up as
Yeah, I
enemy
know.
frenemies when they
Right.
kind of finally had a little bit of a link there.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Right. I know.
and
That
you
would
can
suck.
see that Joss is already conflicted about it, but
Right. Mhm. Yeah.
they're gonna push her, of course, to do. Yeah, it's gonna be. It's too bad. It's too bad. They have to. I guess we
Mhm.
have to have conflict though, or there'd be no. Remember when we like taught the short story and you had to like teach that whole I forget what the it was like a graph with a line and it went up to the climax and
Like the
then
dramatic arc, you mean?
the dramatic arc and then the denouement and then you have a
Oui,
cigarette and it's
bonjour. Yeah.
over. Yeah.
Well, I know that's in theory the way it's supposed to work, but I feel like we could have a little less conflict and I would be fine with that.
Yeah,
You
it'd be
know?
more interesting to explore Emma and or maybe it wouldn't, but Emma and Joss becoming like colleagues and friends or something, or
Yeah,
I
and
don't
they're
know.
both passionate, about whatever they think is
Yeah,
important. So I
maybe
don't know.
we just should watch the Waltons instead. Maybe
You
we're
think
not cut
that's the
out
only
for.
option is the Waltons?
Well, can you name a show that's more sweet? That's just about
Oh,
friendship. And,
well, yeah, I guess I am looking for more sweetness. Yeah, there's probably some shows out there.
I hate to say it, but Sigmund and the Sea Monster was really kind of sweet.
Fuck, come on. That's not fair. All right, I'm gonna
Have
start
you have
just
you noticed
I'm
all
gonna
the
refer
support I've been getting
I
on Facebook?
know. Come on, everybody. Stop it. Stop it. Look what you've made. You've turned Gia into a monster.
I haven't even been
Ironically.
chiming in there, but I've just been letting you, like, put me down, putting me down.
Like I couldn't sleep at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I'd look at
Uh,
the messages and like, oh come on, somebody else has seen that stupid show and they had to say something. Fuck.
well, it wasn't like obscure,
Oh,
it's like,
wasn't it?
what did we have? Three channels, like, or was it always four
I
back in
think
the,
yeah, I think we had at least the networks, the 3 networks, and then we
and
had,
then,
like,
and then
Fox
PBS?
or something and PBS maybe. Yeah, I don't know when
Fox,
Fox came
Fox.
along.
I was gonna say Fox was not during our childhood. No
No,
way.
maybe not. Well, how but The Simpsons has been on for a long, long time. I don't know if
Not during our childhood.
no, maybe not, but I
Matter
guess,
with
like,
you?
maybe during our, like, 30s.
Yeah, well, and we were terribly immature.
Yeah, we were very childlike.
Yes, and still are.
How
But
we've grown.
I do kind
Anyway,
of miss that. I know I don't want to start sounding like one of those idiotic old people online
uh,
that's,
that
like,
ship has
I'm
sailed,
so
Gia.
glad I grew up before,
Yeah.
Facebook and blah, 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 when we rode our bikes and had,
Uh-huh.
talked through orange juice cans and that kind of crap. But,
Wow, you
um,
got a long list of stuff you used to do.
yeah, but that being said,
Mhm,
um, I do kind of miss the like communal, like everybody watched Roots, and then the next day
mhm,
everybody was talking about
mhm,
Roots, and then
mhm. Yeah,
or
that was kind of an
everybody
ad
watched Sigmund
right.
and the Sea Monster, and then they were
Mhm.
talking about,
That was
except
quite a phenomenon. Yeah, you're right. You're
you,
right.
you were. It occurred to me, like I keep saying you were. I was thinking you were elevated. You were doing brainy things or
I
something. But then I
wasn't. I
thought,
never said I was.
no, no. I mean, I I put that on you. I superimposed that, and
You
then it
yeah,
occurred to me later, like maybe you were in trouble. Maybe you were locked in your room. And your brothers were watching
in a
it.
pine box. Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe.
your brothers were
You
down
don't
there
know
watching,
everything.
passing a joint around, and you were like
Rocking in a
eating eat,
corner.
eating bread crusts and water. It's like I can't come. I don't know. I just come up with extreme scenarios for how you missed all this stuff.
I wish
That's on me. I don't know.
yeah, it is. You got some
I
issues
have
you
a
need to work through.
rich imagination. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Um.
guess. Um, anyway, uh,
Anyway, HR Puff and stuff. Did you watch that though? Somebody
that
brought that up.
rings a bell. I don't think I watched that. I don't there's something about, like, a lot of those shows during that era that aesthetically I couldn't get behind them.
Which shows from that era were you behind? That's would
I
be
don't even remember, like, Saturday morning, I think I just think of as a disappointment because, like, you're home and you're free to watch TV, and that's the best they can do, it
wow.
is
I don't know, but man, I was like with a mixing bowl full of Captain Crunch, and like, and
another piece of the puzzle, everyone,
you
for
know,
those
I mean, it
keeping
just was
track.
that time when you were like kind of unsupervised because your parents weren't
Uh-huh.
up yet or whatever, and
They weren't they
I
weren't
don't know,
now
or
there's
they
a
weren't
story.
watching you.
They
Maybe
come in
they weren't
late.
watching us, and we were just
Uh,
eating stuff and watching this stupid. And like,
yeah.
do you remember? Did you do this? This will be very telling. Did you take silly putty on Sundays and do that thing where you take the cartoons off on the silly putty, like
Mm, um,
like you smash the silly
I
putty
do.
onto the
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, but you never did that?
Well, we had, like, the New York Times, and they don't have funnies.
Jesus H. Christ.
So you had, like, this is the scenario in your house. Your parents are sleeping in because they came home late from a key
Probably.
party.
They were playing like Twister and drinking cocktails or whatever, putting their keys in a bowl.
Exactly. They don't give a fuck what you're doing Saturday morning.
Exactly, yeah.
Just be quiet. Just shut
Right.
up because daddy's got a hangover.
Well, at your house, we're all looking at the New York Times because we're bougie. Oh my God. Oh, that's funny. No, we
And
were not reading the New York Times, but
and yet here we are. We still wound up in the same
somehow we
place.
leveled out. Yeah.
Leveled out.
I was brought high and you were brought low, I guess.
Uh,
Oh, I'm
uh,
gonna send you a picture that will show you my
oh
family from that
God.
era.
Okay. All right.
You can go ahead and talk. I'll just send it to you.
Thank,
My
thank you.
brother said it the other day, and I'd never seen it before. And
I don't think we have that many pictures to sort of demonstrate what we were like. But,
we were a massive picture family.
yeah. Well, that's good. That's nice.
Anyway,
Let's see. So, all right. So let's
so
try to.
Professor Hottie, I guess we were talking about
Yeah, we were
Professor
talking
Hottie. We
about
like him.
him. Very, very handsome. Yeah, yeah. There's some really good-looking people on The Young and the Restless, I have to say. Both
I
men
haven't
and
watched it.
women.
I
Yeah.
haven't watched it in so long. I mean, that's the Victor show.
That's right. Yeah, you watched it before I did, I think. And then
Yeah, it was like when I was working at a greenhouse, it was always on when I had my lunch break, so I'd like
uh-huh.
buzz down to my house and catch some of it while I ate
Uh-huh.
lunch.
Right, right,
Um,
right. Yeah. Okay.
but
Uh-huh.
gosh, it's been so long, I can't remember. There was a Nicholas who was
Yep,
Victor's son,
he's
and
still on that. Yep.
he
Mhm.
was dimply and cute.
Yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, I guess so. You think they're better looking than General Hospital? Are you putting that out there?
I'm putting that out there maybe. Yeah, I mean, General
Wow.
Hospitals, I think, got
She
plenty
thinks
of a
Y&R is better looking than GH. Fight me.
I don't know if I could really provide a list of all the hot people on both shows so that I could give you a real assessment of which show has hotter people. But
Okay, but we
I
like
know
this professor. We think he's hot.
we certainly do. Yeah, that was a
Okay.
exciting addition to our Port Charles family.
All right. Well, I don't have feelings about him one way or the other. He's no Brennan. He's no original Brennan.
Ouch!
Say that.
Wow. Okay, so all right. Well, do you think did that have to do with just Brennan's physical looks, or did you like his
I
personality as
I liked
well?
his personality.
The swagger, all the
He had a little
swag.
swagger. He was a little bit like he had some inside joke going all the time, you know.
Yeah, yeah, and he was a little bit. I don't know if cold is the right word, but
Cold.
he was a man. He was a man's man, maybe. Would you
Um,
say?
guess so. And you think this new guy's kind of a girly man, and you like that? Is that
I
what you're?
well, I'm gonna.
Where are you going with this?
I'm gonna say slightly more evolved is the way I would look
Oh,
at it. Not
okay.
like a caveman kind of, who I mean
I guess I've just watched too many Bond movies, and so that's kind of my
uh, and you like all those ape
default.
movies too. So
The movies, yeah.
literally movies with apes. So
Well, I think they were. I think
I
they
know they
were
weren't real apes. They were
suits. Yeah.
fake apes. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway,
Um. Anyway, yeah. Did you see the picture of my family? How cute we were.
I thought I would focus on the podcast, but if
Oh,
you need me to, all right,
but
I'll
I'm terribly cute in this picture. God.
well, I feel like every time you share a picture with me, you should put it on Facebook. Oh, that is cute. That looks like with the white border around the picture. Oh,
Yeah,
look
that
at you.
old. I wasn't
Oh,
even cute. Good
you
God.
were
And
very cute.
I don't
Yeah.
think I was.
Is that a cornucopia on the
Yeah, I think
table?
this was the Thanksgiving shot.
Wow, a wicker
Yeah.
cornucopia, everybody. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. Lovely. Lovely. But you
My
should
mom
share
looks like
those.
Mia Farrow or something there.
Yeah.
Anyway, the memories.
Mhm.
So okay, the professor, yeah, I don't know. I didn't get like I don't like
Pants.
dislike him or anything. I just thought, oh, what a shame that we have to have a cat fight with these
Yeah.
two
Yeah, I
young
know. That is a
ladies.
shame.
Um,
I'm just wondering like if he starts to become like a real interesting, sort of suave, like in a good way type of a person, if he'll become more attractive to you.
oh, he's handsome. I'm not knocking him. I
Okay.
don't know, the professor thing. Professors are always annoying. Like
Okay,
remember
yeah.
when Gregory
Yeah.
came on the scene,
Yeah,
that sort of
yeah, right. Yeah. They act like they have this certain like
they have an air,
person
they
exactly, and I don't
yeah.
know that that's always true, but I guess maybe it is. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean I've known professors of course because I was in school a long time because
Mhm.
it's the safest place for me. Um,
Yeah. That's the
but I don't know. Well, actually no, I am friends with a guy that's a professor. I'm a harmonica player friend with
Mhm.
guy that he's retired now, but
Right.
he taught
Mhm.
up in Orono for his whole career
Uh-huh.
basically.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Um, and he's not annoying, but
No.
he will go into sort of teaching moments,
Uh-huh. Right. Hmm.
and he will
Okay.
be like, let's play devil's advocate and that kind of,
Yeah, I don't have a lot of time for that.
yeah, that sort of like, let's discuss it and that kind of thing.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Anyway,
We'll
we'll
see.
see where that goes. We'll see where that goes. But
Mhm.
I already feel badly for Joss because
Yeah.
I can see in her eyes that she doesn't want to do what she's going to have to do, but she's
Right.
going to do it. I can tell she's going to do it.
Right. And it's not just that she's going to have to do something she doesn't want to, but she's already given up like her life, her relationships are not the same anymore. So now it's just going to get even harder.
Yeah, she's lying to everybody.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, and it's gonna be hard on the like when her mother finds out. Oh man,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh,
It's
I
gonna
wonder, yeah,
be.
how long are they gonna let this go? Because maybe, I mean, maybe they would let it go for a long time, you know?
Um, yeah, I hope it goes on long enough to really be like painful, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, put us through some real agonizing
Yeah.
scenes and stuff, yeah. Right. Mhm.
But I don't know, yeah. And what do you think this professor? This professor is
Mhm.
dirty somehow, or like what do
Well,
we?
it's environmental physics, whatever that is. I don't know. I think maybe he would be like an eco-terrorist or something like
So is
that.
yeah, like doing some kind of like extreme Greenpeace action or
Yeah,
something.
that's my thought. I don't know
Yeah.
that he's doing something that he thinks ultimately is for the greater good. You know,
I worked for Greenpeace for a very short time.
I had some Greenpeace T-shirts. Does that count?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Sure.
Okay. Is that how you met your old man there?
It is. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Hmm.
We were both kind of looking for jobs where you could like not get up early in the morning. We just like we were going around getting trying to get people to give money to get the magazine. And so you'd
Uh
be
huh.
dropped off in a neighborhood and you'd go door to door and people
Uh huh.
dogs would chase you and people would yell at
Yeah.
you
Yeah. Uh
and
huh.
it was
Yeah.
very unpleasant. But then afterwards you go out and drink beer and get stoned and stuff and that was I didn't
Yeah.
last very long. And they would
Mhm.
drop you off and be like, "Oh, this is good turf. This is good turf." These people, and you like, and then suddenly you realize you've been dropped off in some neighborhood that's completely people that were in the Navy, like a Navy, and you're like, who
Like,
absolutely hate you, and you're like trying to
yeah,
tell them about and
your
and
little
I'm like,
Zodiac boats and
yeah,
stuff.
I'm like 21 or something, and I'm just this so naive and I mean, I was like, I was
Mm.
just, well, I'm still an idiot, but oh, it was just awful. It was quite awful.
Oh, that's funny.
But yeah, that's where I met the old man,
Yeah. Mhm.
yeah,
Lovely.
and he would literally like we were supposed to march around the whole time, 3 or 4 hours, and he would
Mhm.
go sit under a tree and smoke pot, and then get up the last half hour or something, and he was very bad about the whole thing. He was like, "Whoa,
Uh-huh.
no good. Nobody's home yet," But it was stupid. It was
Uh,
the I thought we'd be out, in the little boats or something, and it was just
right, right, yeah.
we were just trying to
Uh-huh.
get people to give us money, and
Mhm. Yeah.
and I didn't know anything about environmental stuff. I thought I did,
Mhm.
was,
Yeah.
but as you can see, I've been obsessed with like plastic and stuff for a really long time,
Yeah, sure.
but
So,
ineffective,
uh-huh.
nonetheless, terribly ineffective all my life,
Oh, gee.
just
Oh, well.
tormented by thoughts.
Tormented by thoughts. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway,
Oh, well.
okay, what
Mhm.
else we got? What else we got here?
Well, in other sort of maybe less intense unpleasantness, but we had what's her name, Amy, taking care of Elizabeth, and that
Oh,
whole thing
great.
was like, oh come
Yeah.
on, I don't know why
It
they
was
had to
supposed
make
to be cute comic relief, but they really
yeah, yeah.
overemphasized everything about it.
Yeah, it wasn't done well. I
And I feel bad for the actor playing Amy because she's
Mhm.
probably got better chops than that, but that's what they give her
Mhm.
to do.
Right, right. Yeah. Yeah. Just it was just a little weird too. I thought. I don't know. And
And it was
then
just a big setup to get Lucky to take care of
yeah.
Elizabeth. And it's like, well, we don't, they've already,
Mhm.
kissed and kind of declared that they're together. So
Mhm.
why are we sort of backtracking with this,
Right.
right?
Like trying to create some new suspense, right? About will they get together or not.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't like it at all.
That's so your t-shirt. I don't like that. Uh,
Well, especially like if Rick is going to be sniffing around, I can't have that.
I know it doesn't it seem like we did this. They've declared that they're into each other and now
Yeah.
we're like acting all coy again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, like Elizabeth was smart enough to know who Rick was too, right? So that she's sort of like kind of, I don't know if she's leaving the door open for him, but she's definitely not completely shutting it,
Right.
you
Yeah,
know?
she said that she had that little speech about, well, if he
Yeah.
weren't, she'd still
Yeah.
find him hot or whatever. It's like,
I
what?
mean, that like, if
Yeah.
Lucky heard that, I mean, how much
Yeah,
would
he would
that
have been
destroy
crushed.
him, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, so,
I
I don't
know.
know, I don't know, that's no good, that's no good.
Do you think a
Um
t-shirt would be good if it on the front it said I don't like that and on the back it said I don't like that at all?
Yeah, I like that, yeah.
I like that.
I'm gonna
And
put
then
that
I like that
yeah.
a lot or something. It could be like it could be good days and bad days kind of t-shirt.
Yeah, yeah, that's true, uh-huh, that's a cute idea, Gia, good
Like
job.
Lisa Bright and Dark.
I don't know what that means as
Do you,
far as T-shirts.
do you remember that? I think that was the name of it. That was like a young adult novel
Yeah,
that was,
that boy, young adult novels had such a weird, dark kind of,
they were very dark. Oh my
yeah.
God.
And I
Yeah.
think they've only gotten darker because now you have
Really?
the dystopian stuff is all over the place now.
I don't even really know what that means. What does that mean? Like
Like
you're in some
end of
alternate
the
universe
world,
that,
yeah, like after
oh,
whoever's left, after the world has
share. Isn't it just share?
share, just share. Yeah, it's just share.
Oh, I don't know about dystopian young adult novels. Yeah, that doesn't seem
Yeah.
like a good idea.
Not really, and it's funny because parents are always so concerned when their kids well, not always, but, they're the themes of young adult stuff are so different from, like, the age group before that, where you have, like, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
But they don't seem as upset about the dystopian stuff as they do about, like, the sex stuff and, like, parents getting divorced and all abuse and all of that kind
Mm,
of stuff, which is
yeah.
actually stuff they might have to deal with,
That right, that might actually be helpful to them to read about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. I don't
Anyway,
know why I
sorry.
flashed on Elisa Bright and Dark, but
Yeah.
I do you remember, I don't know if it was, is it considered a young adult novel, a separate piece? Is that considered young
Yeah,
adult
I'd
or is
say
that,
that's that age group, yeah.
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 That was a
Mhm.
hauntingly dark
Yeah. Yeah.
story. Gosh.
Right, right, and Lord of the Flies, I mean,
Lord of the Flies.
shish,
I was watching something that had a reference to Lord of the Flies. What the hell was it? And I was so glad I got it. It was somebody said,
Mhm.
I'm tired of being Piggy. I want to be
Yeah.
Ralph."
Yeah, that's a good line. I wonder
And
what that was.
what show was I watching? I love that they didn't explain it. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
I was like,
uh-huh.
"Thank you for not hitting us over the head," and I got it. I was like, I'm so well read.
Oh, man. Yeah, you'll have to, figure out what show that was, Gia.
Yeah, what was I watching? Anyway, okay, what else do we want to talk about? Did we have more Kai stuff?
Oh, we did. We had that was mostly yesterday, I guess, when he talked to Trina, and Trina had talked to Ava also.
Oh, right. Okay, so we had those two, and then also after that, we should talk about
Yeah, yeah, we should.
Diane and
Yeah, and
Alexis and that
Alexis. Yeah.
decision. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. Yeah.
So
That's
what's happening? Actually, they're kind of parallel situations, really. Um,
yeah.
we have two people giving good advice, and the
Mhm.
principal actor in
Mhm.
each case saying,
Mhm.
"Fuck you, I'm
Yeah,
not
right.
taking your advice."
Right, right. And they're engaging in quite a bit of wishful thinking, aren't they? I mean,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
yeah. And yeah, so Kai, I mean, easier to
Well, they weren't really saying,
understand.
they weren't saying "fuck you." They didn't say "fuck you," but
No.
they just
They were
they were obstinately sticking their
Yeah.
heads in the sand about what
Yes.
possible outcomes of each
Yes.
situation.
Yes, exactly. And I mean we talked a little bit last time about we can understand Kai's position, I guess, quite a bit more.
Because he's
Um
so much younger, I think,
he
is,
does yeah, he doesn't have the
yeah.
perspective to realize that this is regardless of whether he has like a 5-year career or a 10-year career as a football player, it's still only part of his life. Whereas,
Yeah, yeah, and it's such a
um,
crapshoot, like,
it's totally a
uh
crapshoot. Yeah, absolutely. Um,
so what will Trina do? I mean,
yeah.
it is she so haunted by losing Spencer that she could possibly say, the pain of the possibility of
Mhm.
losing you to this
Yeah, it's too much.
is too much, and I can't be with you. I can't watch this. Like,
Yeah, I know, but then, I mean, she's still gonna be watching it just from a greater distance, so I don't know that she spares
yeah,
herself
but
any
could
pain.
she protect her heart somewhat? Um,
Yeah, I don't know.
or would that be
Maybe.
seen as like trying to have leverage? Like,
Yeah, right. I don't know. I was wondering if that would be an option for her, but I don't. To me, it doesn't seem like a real option. Um,
I mean, she probably won't, but part of me
mhm,
feels like if that were me, I might be like, you
mhm,
know what? I like
mhm.
I gotta move myself away from this train wreck.
Yeah,
I can't watch
yeah.
you do this, and
Right, right.
I wish
Mhm,
you well, but
mhm.
um,
Yeah,
you're on
yeah.
your own. I don't
Right.
know. That would be a tough stance to take for sure.
Mhm. Right. And I wonder if he could play a different sport, if he's it seems like they talked about that a little bit before, like before the
Water
cert.
polo or
Yeah.
something with less
Syn
impact on the
synchronized
joints.
school swimming, yeah,
Yeah.
mhm. Lots of good options, yeah. Uh, so I don't think he has to play football. I think he could get in the pool and then, Drew would be in the pool also, and our dream would come true. Everybody eventually will be at the pool.
And if they're playing water polo, they wear those funny little hats.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I can't I just see us even just as part of the writing team. We keep pitching these ideas, and they're like, "Will you
yeah,
shut the fuck up about
shut
the
up about
pool
the
scenes?"
pool.
It's an
Yeah,
alternative to the shower scenes or the steam room scenes at
right. You
least,
still get a lot of shirts off
Mhm.
dudes.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah.
A lot of six packs going
And it's
on.
and it's a little less gratuitous because they're doing something there.
Right, right. There's spiking the ball and yep. Um,
Uh, thanks, yeah.
yeah,
So there's that, and then okay, so should we switch over to Ava and
yeah. To
Alexis?
Alexis and Ava and Diane, I feel like that's
Oh,
kind of
oh, I said Ava,
yeah,
didn't I? Yeah,
yeah.
Diane, yeah, Diane,
Well, Ava, we
right.
should talk about what Ava did too, because
Yeah. And I'm gonna say that there was a little sloppiness in the writing in these 2 episodes that we had just come off the weekend saying that
yeah.
the writing was much better, but I thought the writing was sloppy in a bunch of places here, so
Okay, like what? Do you have some? Can you cite examples?
I would love to. Thank you, Gia.
You're being professorial, and therefore annoying,
Yeah,
condescending, and
exactly.
annoying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, there were a few places where people repeated themselves or something, like Trina did in one case, I think when she was talking to either Kai or Ava. And then there was another time when Jordan said she respected the position of deputy mayor too much. So she was going to resign from the position of deputy mayor. And it's like, why did she have to say deputy mayor
Oh
twice?
yeah.
Like
And you
stuff
know what?
like that.
Yeah. You know what else was weird? They had a flashback from the same episode within the episode with Jordan. Like Jordan flashes back to resigning, which she did like
Hmm.
10 minutes ago.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah.
did they
Yeah.
think maybe people went to the bathroom during that scene or something, and they needed to
Or
play it again?
or
And
maybe
did they
they
have to pay for that flashback?
maybe that's a cheaper way to fill an hour if you just cut the scene and then replay it, you
Yeah,
just
I was
like
like, why are we seeing this again? We got it. She resigned,
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was weird,
Right.
but
So there was that stuff and then there was something else where I'm not going to be able to come up with it, but I think it had something to do with Alexis and Diane and
all
that
right. Well, you
whole
did pretty
debate.
well to come up with those. That was good.
Thanks, thank you.
So
But there are others, I'm gonna say,
I'm
okay?
gonna be looking for some end notes, footnotes, or end notes.
Okay, I'll try
Yeah.
to provide that, yeah. So, okay. Alexis, so I couldn't remember, but I guess it's obvious that she didn't tell Diane anything about Ava's role in this,
No, she did not. That's right. I kind of spaced that. Right.
so Diane's advice, is even, would even be smarter if she knew that Ava was blackmailing Alexis, right? I mean,
Yeah, I wonder why she chose to withhold that info. That's like Diane's
yeah,
her best friend.
right. She's not going to tell anybody that
Yeah.
piece of it, I
And
don't
she might
know.
be giving better advice if she had the full picture, you know?
Yeah, yeah, but now, like, I mean, Alexis is really, I don't know. It was very stupid and very soap opera-y, I guess, for her to
Yeah.
take that route, and
And then Ava, in
mhm,
such Ava fashion,
mhm.
ups the amount that she wants. Like the
Yeah,
divorce settlement, it was what she already should have had, and then so
right,
she
right, right. Well, and yeah, she had told Rick that she was gonna, or that she was gonna double it or something. Like maybe she was just
yeah.
talking to herself. But that was another sloppy part because that they didn't sort of nail down how much more Alexis was supposed to pay her, did they?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we got anything specific.
It
It was
seems
just
like,
that
yeah,
Ava's indulging her dark side, and
she
and I
is.
think they're showing Rick showing some signs of having a conscience in this.
I think so
He seems to have
too.
an internal struggle going on with this idea of the
Yeah.
blackmail, like he was
Hmm.
toying with telling Dante something, or it felt like he was.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, I think also he's concerned that Christina is a loose cannon and she's just
Right, and
out there. She's gonna
she's gonna
poison his
try again.
coffee. He
Yeah.
didn't he sort of make it look like he thought maybe Christina had
Oh,
poisoned the coffee?
oh. I'm so dumb. I didn't even think of that. I really just thought, that's actually pretty smart, Rick, because that probably would interact with your meds. You're
Well,
on,
that's what I was thinking too. Like she shouldn't have brought him coffee when he's in the
not such a
hospital.
huge coffee.
Right.
Yeah,
Even though it's empty, we could feel that it was empty.
we could feel that it was empty, and it was supposed to be a couple shots of espresso. But did they
Yeah.
mean it was a latte?
Uh,
Because shots of espresso would only
would
need
be
a tiny,
smaller. Yeah.
yeah, a little cup, and they brought like a
It
triple
was
size latte.
yeah, yeah.
I don't remember the Starbucks sizes. Would that be venti?
Yeah, maybe something like that. It was like at least 16 ounces, wasn't it?
Yeah, and yeah,
Mhm.
you're right. It tipped like the way they picked it up. It was obviously quite empty. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Makes
yeah,
me
that you're
furious.
so smart. You're right. It makes you. That's your other T-shirt. That makes me furious. I'm so angry. Do you remember the little cartoon Martian that was always angry?
I don't know.
Oh no! It was a Bugs Bunny one, and he was literally like just a
Okay.
Martian with a little helmet, like marching
Oh,
around, and he was always so angry.
I feel like I can almost see him, but I don't remember that he was
Yeah,
angry. Hmm.
he's like you. He's angry.
I'll have to. Okay, so maybe I should have a T-shirt with him, huh?
Yeah, he was a cute little bugger.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
Bugs Bunny knew just how to get under his skin all the
Uh-huh.
time.
Sure. Sure. Hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you're right though. You missed all the cartoons, but you are smarter than me because you
Nah.
realized that she might have been, or he thought she might have been poisoning him. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're probably right about that.
And it's good to be for him to be that careful, I think.
It
you
is
know.
good. Yeah.
um because Christina still is she's saying some concerning things, still.
Yeah. Uh and it was funny that she was kind of interrogating Dante
Yeah, yeah, uh-huh. Because
and
he's no
and
fool.
yeah, and that's going to make him suspicious, and so it'll
Mhm,
all
mhm.
it'll all come out, I'm sure, in the wash here
Yeah.
shortly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you said a minute ago about Rick sort of being tempted to ask Dante something, and it seems like he would have brought up the issue of maybe there should have been some sort of investigation, or why wasn't there any investigation at all into this crash?
Yeah, yeah.
You
Aren't
know,
don't they usually investigate stuff like
I
that?
would
Like,
think so. Yeah. If you're supposed to file a police report. Did you just send
right.
me something else? Jesus, how did you do that? I don't like this new multitasking Gia.
Well, I
Oh,
feel like
there's the little Martian. Yeah, okay,
yeah,
that's
you remember
cute.
him? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yep.
You'd be like, "You
Uh,
make me so angry." Uh,
when you do that kind of stuff, you make our listeners laugh when they're doing their chores. It seems
that's
like.
that's if that's if that's the best thing I can do with my life, I'm good with it.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Hmm.
good with it.
Helping with
Laughing.
commutes and chores. Yep.
I think that you and I might have missed our calling, I think, because when I watched that whole series of comedians in cars getting coffee, the Jerry
Yeah.
Seinfeld thing,
Uh-huh.
and a common thread when they were talking about kind of like as children and getting their first laughs
Uh-huh.
and
Uh-huh.
how addictive that was and how
Uh-huh.
intoxicating. And I was like,
Yeah.
I think you and I are like that. Like, I think
Wait.
I know I've said things at parties or whatever that I really shouldn't have said, but I just knew they would get a laugh, or
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and I think I suffer from that addiction, like,
Well, yeah, there is. It's always fun to make people laugh, and I do
yeah.
think that life is hard enough, and everybody should be laughing more. All
But
this should be
like
funnier.
if you were given some horrible Sophie's choice of, being
Hmm.
intelligent or being
Or
funny,
fun. Oh, funny every day.
I think I think somebody asked us that at some point, and we've already chosen.
You mean like some cosmic choice, like
Yeah,
when our
yeah,
genes were forming?
yeah, early on, and we were like,
Yeah.
funny, duh. Like,
Yeah, I'm not sure who got the last laugh, but
yeah, we're still laughing though. We may be all alone, but we're laughing.
maybe, maybe. That's
Anyway, yeah, back to Alexis. Yeah,
mhm.
bad choice, but maybe like is the Ava aspect of it, did that make it harder for her? Uh to
What do you
like to not go with Diane's advice.
oh, well, see, I think I don't know. I think like because Ava was a part of this equation, Diane's path was smarter because it would have I mean cuz all of this is going to come out. This is like the sort of myth that soap opera characters always live with, that the
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
isn't going to come out,
Yeah,
even though
they
everybody.
have amnesia about that every time
Yeah,
they get.
every
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
So I don't know. It feels like there's so many different ways that Molly could discover this, and if Alexis also, what really disappointed me was she kept talking about like how this would break Christina if she felt like she'd abandoned her. But it's going to destroy Molly if she finds out that Alexis did all of this shit just to protect
That's
Christina.
true. That's gonna like just fulfill everything Molly's always felt like in
Yeah, and
her
Rick has
family.
always
Yeah.
said that, that Alexis puts Christina first every single time, and now he's watching that happen.
Yeah, yeah. And I think
So,
they do Christina a disservice by thinking she's not strong enough to handle things, and
yeah,
it's like a
yeah.
self-fulfilling prophecy all the time with.
Yeah, I know. I respect Diane
Mm.
sort of like letting Alexis kind of form her own decision a bit, but I think she should have made a stronger case, for
Yeah,
for the other option.
yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Diane's
Rick,
hair is different lately. Diane's hair, let her
uh,
hair grow out or something. Have you noticed that?
maybe, yeah, it's a little longer, isn't it? It hangs
Longer.
over her face a bit, doesn't it? But
Yeah, I looked at her today and I thought she's almost like got this 60s kind of thing going right now.
yeah, maybe that's intentional, huh?
Mm.
She's still a
Mm.
powerhouse, still a
She
force.
is. She's a favorite. Always a
Yeah,
favorite.
always. She always makes a scene better, doesn't she?
You know who was making scenes worse was Lulu.
Oh,
I'm
exactly,
jumping around,
exactly.
but I feel like what is she,
Yeah.
like freaking Debbie Downer with
I
Lucky all the
know.
time?
Like, are you
Like,
afraid you're gonna get tired of each other? Who says
yeah, like
that?
what? Yeah, I'm what? Jesus, like, do you hate your
Yeah,
brother or something?
I know. I don't like. Yeah, that was awful. She's like sort of makes me cringe sometimes when I see her now, and when she says shit like that, it's like,
Yeah, I don't know if
yeah,
she's just got like a chip on her shoulder about all the years she missed or something. She's got to
yeah,
bring other people down or something.
right, right.
I don't know.
Nobody's allowed to be happy, I guess,
Yeah.
but that's pretty shitty. Yeah, I didn't like that either.
I don't like that.
I wanted to say, going back to this whole like Christina thing, I think this is going to be a really interesting time for the Rick character because it's also fun to watch him knowing everything he knows and then seeing how Christina's behaving, and just like knowing that everything she says is
Is a
colored,
lie. Yeah, is
yeah,
yeah,
and and
right.
and plus he is going to be furious on Molly's behalf, and
What
think
I'd like to
Alexis.
know,
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
I know I cut in, but it was we were talking about this the other day is do we believe that Christina has kind of seen the light about
Right, that she's remorseful.
yeah, that she's remorseful about cutting the brakes, that she's remorseful about not acknowledging that the baby was Molly's, that is she remorseful about her role in the baby, the whole baby thing?
I don't
Um,
think so. I don't think she is. I mean, she still doesn't believe that it was an accident, that Ava didn't push her, or she's like willed herself to forget what really happened.
yeah.
There's that. And
So
then,
she's just talking. She's not really. She's saying these things, but we don't really believe yet that they're true because that makes a difference. Like
oh yeah,
obviously Alexis is believing it, and that's part of why she's like, "Oh
right,
my God, I can't."
right,
The
right.
sisters are finally in like truly
Mhm,
sisters
mhm.
again, and I can't break this up. And
Yeah, yeah, I think that's exactly right. Yeah, Alexis is, she's being
but
misled.
Christina may be just doing a snow job on everybody.
I think so. I mean, and maybe part of Christina wants to be remorseful and wants to sort of feel like she can grow, but when she was talking to Dante and talking about not being able to get past stuff, and she kind of acted like it wasn't like it was just impossible, certain things you couldn't get past.
Right, that's true. Yeah, she did say that. Yeah, even though she had just been telling everybody that she was moving past.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and
yeah.
that was her dialogue there was a little messy too because it sort of went in two different directions or something. But like my takeaway was that she wasn't capable, at least at this point, of putting any of that behind her.
Yeah. So that'll be kind of
Yeah,
tragic all the way around, won't it?
it will be. Yeah, it will. I mean, Rick might come out smelling like a bit of a rose in all of this. Who knows?
That'd be unbelievable, wouldn't it? Mm.
Wouldn't it? Yeah. But that actor, he must love that his character is becoming more complex,
Yeah,
and
becoming kind of like multi-dimensional as opposed to just
yeah.
a
Mhm.
shithead
Right, right. Yeah.
shithead who's jealous of Sonny. They kind of haven't
Mhm.
even been playing all that up. Like his role,
No.
if I remember correctly, when he first came out, was just he was consumed with jealousy of his brother,
Yeah, right,
and
right.
everything
Yeah.
he did was like part of that.
Mhm.
And
Yeah. Yeah, and it's kinda nice that they haven't been revisiting that very much because that gets
yeah,
kinda old.
that's tiresome. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
So
But
anyway, we had some good stuff going on. It probably wasn't as good a couple of days, but
mhm.
so we had some developments.
We
But
did,
yeah,
we did.
we did have yucky people and yucky scenes that we just kind of yeah.
Yeah, if we could have taken the politics out of it, I think we would have been much
Yeah.
happier, you know?
God. Yeah.
We didn't talk about Marco yet and how everybody now knows
Oh
that his
yeah. I don't know.
papa is Poppy, right? He was calling him Poppy
Was he calling him Poppy?
and mommy when he was sitting down with Natalia at the Metro Court or whatever that one day, and
Yeah.
yeah, he referred to Jenz as Pappy, which I guess is,
Do you
a
have
term of
trouble
endearment, but
trouble with that or?
no, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure it's just a
Is
term
it
of
is it an
endearment
echo of
of, Charlotte, yeah.
Charlotte with
Yeah,
Papa? Little
yeah, that's a triggering word for us, those
yeah.
sort of words,
It
you
may
know?
just be a different culture, like,
I
what
think
are
so,
they supposed
I
to
think it
be?
is, I think it is, yeah.
Cuban? Are we no, what are we?
Or Puerto Rican, I
Puerto
think? I
Rican?
can't remember, but yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is part of the culture. It's just, yeah,
Yeah.
coming off of Charlotte calling
Yeah.
Valentine Papa all the time,
Yeah, that
you
was
know?
creepy.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I don't know where I stand on that character yet. It was, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
He's
he did look a little scared of Jason and
I kind
Sonny.
of want him to get rid of the mustache and beard thing that like
Yeah,
his little
okay.
mouth is doing weird stuff. He's got a little bit of like a very young Ernest Hemingway thing going with the beard,
Uh-huh. Okay, yeah.
which I'm
Yeah.
not liking. Uh
Mhm. Okay.
I don't know. And then I felt bad for Lucas busting into the office and
I know.
kind of being like,
Poor Lucas, he
"This is
thinks
my
he's
new hot boyfriend," and
and,
Jason's, you know,
yeah, yeah, rained on
giving
that parade pretty
yeah,
quickly.
Jason's giving him reason to doubt him, and
Yeah, so that's unfortunate.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I don't know what to think of him yet. And I guess that's the
Mhm.
point. We're not supposed to know what to think of him
Right,
yet, you
right,
know.
right. Yeah.
He seems to
Mhm.
hate both his parents, right?
Right. It does seem like he wants to sort of, blaze his
So
own trail.
maybe he's
Mhm.
on the up and up with that. And,
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
maybe
We
he
also
wants
just
to break free.
we had that was beautiful, Gia. Beautiful.
Thanks.
We had a little bit with Geo and Brooklyn and
Oh yeah,
Chase
the
and
nurse's ball.
and that
Yeah,
was all. I mean,
yeah.
but maybe he's gonna do some hip like violin, playing like
And Brooklyn's gonna produce him for the
right
like
for the
setting
nurse.
up
I
for
don't.
like yeah, like
Yeah,
what does that mean even? But
I know. I didn't remember them ever having producers in
yeah.
the past for the numbers.
That's gonna be my T-shirt. What does that mean even? Just because that's a weird, awkward phrase that people say a lot.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah, they do. That's true.
when you put even at the end, what does that
Mhm,
mean even?
mhm. Yeah, even
Come
if you
on.
say, "What does that even mean?" That doesn't sound right either.
It doesn't quite sound right, but it really sounds wrong when you put even at the
What
end.
does that mean even? Yeah,
Yeah.
mhm,
Would you put a
mhm.
comma there? What
I
does that
think you
mean,
would.
comma,
Yeah.
even?
But boy, aren't professors insufferable.
Oh
Uh,
god. Yeah, let's
well
talk about punctuation for a while.
Anybody who's crazy enough to listen past the 55-minute mark, you're gonna get a punctuation lesson.
Yeah. You know what bugs me is when people use the word however, but they
Yeah.
don't seem to know how to use the semicolon,
Okay.
like
Uh-huh,
blah blah
uh-huh.
blah blah blah, blah semicolon however, comma.
Mhm, mhm. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I don't think you see
Pe-
that very
People
often at
people
all.
they screw it up a lot.
Mhm. Semicolons are tricky for most people, I think.
I think they should be used more frequently. Like
Yeah,
they're pretty safe to use, If you're not sure, oh, am I going to be doing like a comma splice here? Just use a
mhm.
semicolon.
That's the takeaway today. You're welcome, everybody. Uh, I there's nothing I can't follow that. There's awkward silence now.
You didn't know I was going to talk about comma splices tonight.
Well, I forgot comma splices are a real thorn in your side.
They kind of are. I don't know why.
It's like your nom when we were teaching and you have
Like comma
essays with
splices.
comma splices.
I remember. Oh God, did we have fun sharing that office, driving out
We
everybody
did.
else in that room
We
insane?
did. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. So that's right. Good times. Yeah. Some real
speaking
good
of
laughs.
professors, do you remember that there was a guy in there, and I can't remember what he taught, but there was like the joke with the students was that like he didn't change his wardrobe very often, so they were taking
Mhm.
bets. They were doing like probability analysis about his outfits, like, and they had
Uh-huh.
different bets going on the different pants and stuff.
Oh.
It was kind of cruel, but kind of
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah, they probably had weird bets going on about us too.
Oh Jesus, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Probably like how often is she gonna refer to TV shows during our
Yeah,
class? That would have been
that was
me.
you.
Oh, oh
Oh,
dear.
anyway, we must have if we're talking about punctuation, we've probably reached the end
We've
of our
gone on
rope
too
here.
long.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think so,
yeah.
Gia. I
All
think
right.
so.
Well,
Okay.
well,
Oh,
we
so
appreciate everybody. And what? Oh,
we do. I was
what?
gonna say we may not be back until Monday, right? I guess.
Right. Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah.
Probably. Okay. All right,
We'll watch
everybody.
Thursday, Friday, Monday, and yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, and then
Okay.
give them a chance to miss us, maybe.
Sure.
Sure, that'll happen.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Talk about wishful thinking.
Okay. All right.
Mhm.
You have a good night, and we'll see everybody on Monday.
Yeah. Okay. Night, Gia.
Okay. Night. See ya.
Bye.